The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. We're going to be bringing you part 3 of our interview with big, sexy Kevin Nash. And for all of you watching in Milwaukee, it is an exclusive interview with the WWE Champion CM Punk in advance of Raw coming to Milwaukee's Bradley Center in just 2 days. The Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night starts right here, right now on My 24 Milwaukee. Ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Davey Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero, and let's roll right into a huge show tonight. Got big interviews, so let's roll right into this week's WWE RAW report. And David, coming out of Raw this past Monday night, some big things happening, including a superstar quitting, another one losing his contract, and the WWE Champion getting into a little bit of verbal judo with John Cena.
Amazing night of Raw because of those 3 moments. Other than that, a little bit of a slow
Well, let's not forget Cody Rhodes was on Raw as well, part of a 6-man tag team match.
He was, wasn't he?
He was, absolutely.
He did fantastic.
Save Cody.
John Cena, well, where do you want to start? With Cena and
I
Punk?
want to start with Cena and Punk because it also evolved into an attack on Jerry the King Lawler.
John Cena, I think, one of his best promos since his program with The Rock. He went out there, he wasn't all cartoonish. He just pretty much told CM Punk, if you really want to be the best, beat me in my hometown. Laid it out there for him, almost to the point where it was like CM Punk wasn't too sure what to do at that moment. The fans still want to cheer CM Punk, but there's a lot of fans that cheer for John Cena. Boo Cena and boo Punk. It's going to be a true 50-50 battle. Half the crowd will be for Cena, half the crowd for Punk. But I think the best part of that entire verbal sparring session was how Punk pulled a hero and completely ignored the guy he was having the promo with and put all of his energy and insight onto Jerry the King Lawler.
Once John Cena left the ring, CM Punk basically, just as you said, immediately went back to what he was doing and began talking to Jerry the King Lawler. But he did acknowledge a lot of the things that John Cena said. Now, the question that this has left a lot of people with is, what is CM Punk? Is CM Punk a face? Is he a heel? Is he somewhere in between? Was that more clearly answered with the obligatory attack on the beloved Jerry Lawler this past Monday night?
CM Punk is just simply CM Punk. He's the
straight edge.
He is the guy that puts himself first, takes care of his own business, and he's cashing his paycheck. I mean, that's how Punk has always been from the Indies, in TNA and Ring of Honor, and now in the WWE. CM Punk is CM Punk. And it's unfortunate that now the Punker has to go into a program with Jerry the King Lawler as a way to make sure John Cena is a stronger babyface than CM Punk would be. Why do they constantly have to serve up the king to everyone they're
He's beloved. It's heinous when you attack an announcer.
I get that, but I mean, they did it with The Miz. Now they're doing it with CM Punk. It just seems that they're trying to give these guys a little bit of an extra push as a heel, and unfortunately, Jerry the King Lawler is the proverbial sacrificial lamb.
Chris Jericho gone from WWE, at least for the time being. It was a contract versus contract matchup. Him versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's Money in the Bank contract up against Chris Jericho's WWE contract. It was no secret that Jericho was going to be leaving WWE to focus more on his band Fozzy.
I understand.
He has said in many interviews he was leaving.
Was hanging out with Fozzy a couple nights ago.
Yes, she was in the Shy in Chicago.
How about that? Leave it to Linda Kay.
But Chris Jericho gone, Dolph Ziggler goes out on top and defeats Chris Jericho Monday night.
You know, the interesting thing is everyone says that Jericho hasn't won the big one. It's been an uneventful return for him. His match at SummerSlam was hashtag tremendous. Him and Dolph Ziggler started off the show, set the tone for the rest of the night, and of course our big post-show.
Shane Helms.
Hurricane Shane Helms is at pwrshow.com. Go there and check that out.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people were saying Jericho didn't accomplish anything, but Jericho, in a recent interview, said he loves what he did and what he has been doing for the time he's been there, because when you look back, he's done nothing but put everybody else over.
He's put everybody else over, but has it truly helped or elevated everyone he's worked with?
You don't think it helped Punk at all?
I don't think it helped CM Punk at all.
You don't think it helped Dolph Ziggler at all?
No, it was way too short of a program.
Well, speaking of short, Brock Lesnar's time in WWE, at least from what we're led to believe on television, cut short this past Monday night as he touts out that it's done. He's got nothing else to do in WWE, so he's leaving. He's never coming back.
Of course.
Which is the perfect setup for whomever his opponent will be come WrestleMania.
How is it perfect? This is now, it's deja vu all over again. He quits, he comes back, he quits, he comes back, he quits, he's going to come back again a third time.
It was the words that were said. I have beat everybody. I am the King of Kings. I have nobody else to beat. I am leaving.
He's beat everybody. There's nobody left.
In this last run,
he
you know what? And the Undertaker beat him several times too. But Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker have not had a WrestleMania match.
Well, no, but neither has Undertaker and John Cena.
The door was open and left clear that there is going to be a return for Brock Lesnar to WWE. And with the way it was said, it's got to be against one of the major players in the company on a grand stage when he comes back.
I wish he wouldn't have quit again. I wish he would have just stayed. Just stroll out every once in a while, hang out backstage, bully people around, be the big dog in that locker room. Don't leave and come back.
Brock Lesnar, not in a main storyline, not in a main event role, we'll see him in a sombrero dancing down the ramp again like we did when he was sort of floundering in WWE back before he left the first time. He needs to be on top in the major marquee event.
He needs to be on TV also. It's important. I would rather just pre-tape some stuff with him that they can show down the road with him backstage, maybe bumping into Santino or somebody else or Zack Ryder or whatever, something. Don't just be completely off of TV. I think it kills any momentum that he had going for him.
That's this past Monday's WWE Raw, but there's still so much more to come here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night, including an interview for our Milwaukee viewing audience with the WWE Champion CM Punk, coming off the heels of our interview with Eve last week. And we're going to talk about SmackDown, this week's Star of the Week, and more. But before we do that, part 2 of our Kevin Nash interview is up next when we come back here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night.
Citizens, this is Shane, the Hurricane Helms, and you're watching PWR on My 24 Milwaukee. And if you're not, what's up with that?
Hey, it's WWE Diva Eve Torres, even though I'm in a lab coat and I look like a professional combos taster right now. But I wanted to congratulate PWR on 10 million views. That's incredible. Keep up the good work.
This is the most popular man in pro wrestling, Kevin Nash. Just wanting to say, PWR, congratulations on 10 million views. I believe about 855,000 are mine.
What's up, this is Lena. Congratulations to PWR for reaching 10 million YouTube views.
What up, bro? It's Robbie E and Robbie T, Big Rob and Bigger Rob. And bro, we gotta say congrats to the PWR show for hitting the 10 million view mark on YouTube, dude. I gotta say, Dave Hero, you have officially made the list. But, Damon, you'll never get on the list, bro. Oh!
This is Adrian Curry. Congratulations to PWR on 10 million YouTube views.
Hello, this is Matt Hardy, and I want to send out a big congratulations to the PWR show, as this week it will hit the 10 million views mark on YouTube. It's quite a feat. Great job, PWR show. Congrats.
Formerly known as the Bella Twins.
And want to say congratulations to the PWR show for getting 10 million views.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Woo!
Besos.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson here sitting alongside David Hero. And David, it's time to complete the trilogy, if you will. Part 3 of our interview with Big Sexy Kevin Nash.
Return of the Nasher.
Absolutely. And
Super Shredder?
Vinny Vegas. There is a lot more that he has to say.
Too, wasn't he?
And these comments come off the heels of his comments about Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and their being too small to be champions, and the fact that that was one of the symbols of the downturn in professional wrestling. So let's go to that interview right now, part 3 of our discussion with Kevin Nash.
Make yourself better. I was a 6'10", 197-pound kid, and I became a world champion in wrestling. I mean, I guarantee it's the work, but putting that much muscle on wasn't. Yeah. So it's like, and I still stay in the gym, you know, and it's just like, I'm dedicated to a lifestyle, and whether you might like me, hate me, whatever it is, at 53 years old, you can call me tomorrow, and I can give you 12 to 15 solid minutes at the same pace I did 20 years ago, because I learned from some of the best. Don't make your body your gimmick, because sooner or later it'll go, and work like a big man. And I've always worked like a big man. Frankenstein doesn't move fast. Jason didn't move fast, except the one movie that was bad.
Freddy Versus?
Yeah.
Or Jason X.
Yeah,
that was
Jason,
horrible.
That was horrible. Jason.
Still great, but horrible.
Yeah, but horrible. I mean, any of those monsters, you know, Michael Myers, he doesn't, you know, he vanishes, but he doesn't move fast. So, I mean, it's just like, you know, to me, the Mummy, come on, really? The Mummy couldn't even do anything, and he was like a monster. I mean, he was like the slowest monster on earth.
Is it valid to say, if you're saying the wrestling business has not changed, the inside of the wrestling business has not changed, but to the fans and to the fans of today, the product that they see has changed because the landscape and the environment of available talents has changed? Is that an accurate statement?
I would say that you put that very eloquently.
I do that sometimes.
I think that's your job. I'm supposed to ramble over here. But then again, I just woke up, so who knows what I'm talking about.
Well, Kevin, you're not rambling. I mean, everything you're saying makes sense. And again, as you said, it's your opinion, and people out there are going to differ from your opinion and have their own opinion. And that's what's great about Twitter and social media and whatnot, is because everyone.
I'm a Romney guy. Of course, I'm an Obama guy. So I mean, that's just going to happen.
Mr. Nash, sir, I'm a Ron Paul kind of guy.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm just, neutral, go in between.
I would, you know what? I would, if Romney didn't put Paul as his vice president, he'd be an idiot.
Yeah,
because that's the only chance the guy has.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That, or maybe show up his tax returns. Sorry, not a Romney fan. Your old man was the governor of my state for like 89 years growing up. Corrupt. Anyway.
Kevin, always great speaking to you. Thank you for clarifying those comments. And hopefully people listen to this and hear.
To the Guerrero family and to the Benoit families, I meant no disrespect to either of Eddie or Chris's legacy, them as a human being. I'm just talking about my opinion of how I optically look at two small guys being world champions. Do you get that? It's the same thing I said 10 years ago. It's why they all had a mass exodus from WCW when I had the pencil in my hand and went up north. Brother. I had to throw that in.
What's that? Did you get a new cologne? What's that? It smells, it's an interesting smell.
It's a Hulk. It's actually, it's from the Avenger series.
Really?
Yes, it's the Hulk. Me and Dave Hero have got an exclusive on it. Buddy of mine, Dave Hero, which is a marketing genius.
The Hulk clone. Kevin, thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate 10 million views. 10 million people have watched and looked at David Hero's face. That's scary.
Well, David, big, sexy Kevin Nash, never a man to mince his words or pull back on what he is believing and what he is saying. He even talked a little politics there in the end in his new Avengers cologne. But, you know, Kevin, his perspective is not necessarily right, not necessarily wrong, but it is his opinion. And you might want to watch the entire interview, which is available right now at pwrshow.com. Watch the entire interview with Kevin, about 16 minutes, and hear everything he had to say in its entirety, and then make your decision as to what your opinion of his opinion is.
Let's not forget, Kevin Nash is a guy that was on top during the Monday Night Wars. He was a champion in WWE, WCW. He's been in creative. It's not like he's a guy that spent, a year or 2 years in the wrestling business.
He even mentioned when the what were they called? I forget. The Dean Malenko, the Radicals, when they left WCW, that Nash was doing the booking then, and that's.
Love it or hate it, it's an opinion, and God knows we love opinions.
And again, that full interview available at pwrshow.com. Thanks to Kevin Nash for being a part of it, but the interviews don't stop there, because coming up in just a few moments for our viewing audience in Milwaukee.
The habanero guy, huh?
It's a exclusive interview with the WWE champion, CM Punk. Coming to your eyes in Milwaukee. And for those of you watching us online at pwrshow.com and on YouTube, we're going to talk a little bit about last night's SmackDown and some big news coming out of WWE this past week. This is the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. We'll be back right after this.
Citizens, this is Shane, the Hurricane Helms, and you're watching PWR on My 24 Milwaukee. And if you're not, what's up with that?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson along with David Hero. And David, last night on SmackDown, the 4 primary contenders, or players, if you will, for the World Heavyweight Championship became very, very clear, because all going after Sheamus for his World Heavyweight Championship are Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, and of course Alberto Del Rio, who has a valid point when he says things didn't go quite as they should have at SummerSlam.
No, because he got screwed. I mean, they took advantage of his kindness. They're stacking the deck against ADR and Ricardo Rodriguez. Maybe they don't like the black scarf.
Maybe they don't like Ricardo interfering in the match, which he did again last night.
He was just pointing out the obvious.
With his shoe or with his big toe?
Well, pointing with his big toe. Obviously, his hands were full with his shoes.
Dolph Ziggler almost cashes in again last night. A little bit of a delay caused him to second guess that. Does not cash in.
No. Randy Orton cost him that. The RKO out of nowhere.
That was in the main event. That was in the last match.
Well, but you know what I mean. You know what? Dolph Ziggler, every time he thinks he has the upper hand and he's going to cash it in, shenanigans break out, and he doesn't get the championship.
Many thought he would cash it in at SummerSlam, which he did not do.
I thought when he lost to Jericho, he would cash it in and get all of his steam and all of his heat back. And when he didn't, I was like, okay. And you know what? Maybe they're going to do this differently with Dolph Ziggler. Maybe they're going to make him truly earn it. Or maybe he's going to be the second guy that cashes in and loses.
Who's the first guy that cashed in and lost?
John Cena.
And now, who did you say was going to be the first guy to cash in Money in the Bank and lose?
John Cena.
No, you said it would be The Miz. No, Miz, when he became WWE champion, he had cashed in, right? He cashed in his Money in the Bank?
That was a long time
Became
ago.
WWE champion, then headlined WrestleMania?
The cool thing about having John Cena be the first one to cash in and lose, nobody cares. Because it's John Cena, right? I mean, it's
Teflon.
It's like Babe Ruth striking out in Game 7 of the World Series. Nobody cares because it's Babe Ruth, one of the greatest of all time. Not saying John Cena is one of the greatest of all time.
You just said John Cena was Babe Ruth.
Of this generation's wrestling, absolutely. And when I say this generation, I'm talking about the Cal Hero generation, where it's Fruity Pebbles and nonsense like that. I'm not saying like the Rock generation or the Hulk Hogan generation.
You keep on backpedaling. Keep on.
I'm not back. I'm sitting right in... I'm sitting still.
You're squealing tires. You're backpedaling so fast.
I'm not. It's the truth, though. John Cena can lose every match going forward, and he's still going to be John Cena.
Alberto Del Rio or Randy Orton, who should the primary #1 contender be for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Because ADR is injury prone. I mean, he gets concussions, he gets injuries, whatever else. Randy Orton, he's wellness policy prone. So it's kind of like a coin flip as to who do you want to put the belt on. I mean, right now, go with Dolph Ziggler. I mean, all the guy does is go out there. He steals the show. He looks fantastic. He stays healthy. He's in great shape. ADR, I'm an ADR fan. I think, you know what? He's fantastic. He's got the look. He's got the best gimmick going right now for him. Randy Orton doesn't need it. Maybe he does need it, but he doesn't. I think Randy Orton is kind of irrelevant on SmackDown brand. But how can you argue how well Sheamus has done? He has actually been a pretty solid champion on the SmackDown brand. Mm-hmm. And the matches he's had, look at who he's been working with. He had a program with Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Okay? And now he's with ADR. He's going to go in right. He is able, for a guy of his size, is able to work with all different kinds of talent.
Yeah. As you saw on Raw this past Monday night, Kane throwing Josh Matthews around, and as a result of that, it was Michael Cole and Teddy Long on commentary, David Hero. Teddy Long is hilarious, but for 2 hours, it's a bit much. Other news in WWE and specific to what has been happening this week, Rey Mysterio apparently suffered a concussion due to the brutality levied on him by The Miz this past Sunday night at SummerSlam.
The second guy The Miz is hurt.
Who else did he hurt?
R-Truth. He didn't catch him, remember?
Okay.
And he was out of action for
So that was all The Miz's fault.
Absolutely.
Every bit of it. So now this is all The Miz's fault.
The Miz concusses Rey Mysterio, doesn't take care of him.
Okay.
You know what?
Austin was Owen Hart's fault. Savio Vega was Edge's fault.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Savio Vega was Edge's fault.
Edge broke Savio's neck.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he did.
Savio Vega?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
I'm just making sure so that when next time when one of your little friends injures somebody's and you say it wasn't their fault, then I'm just making sure that you're on the same page here. That.
That's fine. Hey, I get it.
The Miz is dangerous because he doesn't know his own strength. As Shane Helms talked about on PrimeTime Wednesday, giants like Big Show, Mark Henry, and The Miz, they don't know their own strength in that ring. So when
Big Show don't hurt anybody. The Miz has now taken out 2 guys.
We don't know specifically when this concussion occurred. We know it happened within the They're telling us it happened during the match. Could have been on a house show Saturday night.
There was no house show.
Could have been on a house show Friday night.
There was no house show Friday night.
Could have been on a house show Thursday night. I'm not spinning. I'm simply saying when it could have happened. I'm presenting the facts. There's a difference between facts and spinning. No matter what, Rey Mysterio out with a concussion.
Poor Rey.
Don't know how long he's going to be out. And also Tyler Rex released from his WWE contract.
He was released, but he asked to be released.
He was released. Fact, right? Released.
Good for Tyler.
They released him.
Apparently he wants to go in a different direction. Maybe he'll get his hair cut.
Are those braids or are those dreadlocks?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Oh, no, I'm asking the right guy.
How would I know?
Well, if they're dreadlocks, I would expect you to provide me some insight.
And if they're braids, you would know about that?
Uh-huh.
This guy.
Still to come, though, this week here on the Pro Wrestling Report. That's the SmackDown Report. We got your Star of the Week, David Hero.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, can't wait to find out who that is. That's coming up next. Actually, why don't we get to it right now? This week's Star of the Week. Who is this week's Star of the Week, David Hero?
This week's PWR Star of the Week is the absolutely lovely and talented Caitlyn. Winning.
Really?
Absolutely. You know what? Fresh face, hasn't got a whole lot of TV time.
I don't like what she did to Eve.
Winning the Divas Battle Royal #1 contender spot. Eliminating Eve, and I tell you what, Caitlyn, obviously they got big things planned for her. This week's PWR Star of the Week.
Wow. Want to remind you that right now at pwrshow.com you can see the entire Kevin Nash interview, also the Eve interview and the CM Punk interview, all available in there on their lonesome.
CM Punk again.
At pwrshow.com.
He hates Milwaukee.
He does not hate Milwaukee. If you go back, you're not Fox News in this show. Don't sit there and try to Hannity this. He did not say he hated Milwaukee. All right? Because especially he's going to be in Milwaukee on Monday night for WWE RAW, and that is at 6:30 p.m. at the Brantley Center. We'll see you there, and we'll welcome all of you who are joining us in the suite, Pro Wrestling Report suite for Monday Night Raw. For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you Monday at Raw, and then again Wednesday for the Pro Wrestling Report primetime Wednesday night.